Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. We're now going to be doing the Devourer Below, and I know I probably zoom in and out a lot. There is the Alt key that can kind of zoom in stuff a little bit better, so I'll try my best to not do it, but I do kind of like zooming in so I can just see all the cards at once. I know that could be a bit not great to watch. See, I'm already doing it. So, let's go ahead and do this. The Devourer Below. After a frantic nighttime search throughout Arkham, you have tracked down and questioned several members of the cult. Your findings are disturbing. They claim to worship a being known as Umberdoff, a monstrous entity from another realm. You're able to confirm much of Lita's story. The cult is agitated over the destruction of a ghoul lair. However, a surprising detail also turned up. The one who invaded the lair and set this night's events in motion was none other than Lita Chandler herself. You're not sure why this important detail was omitted from Lita's story. Did she tell you only as much as was necessary to draw you into her conflict? But in another light, she seems to be fighting to protect the city of Arkham from a terrible menace. The final piece of the puzzle was found written in a journal possessed by one of the cultists. It describes a dark ritual to be performed deep within the woods south of Arkham. This very night. According to the journal, the ritual's completion will open a gate and bring forth the cult's dark master into this world. If the cult does not stop, Lita warns, there is a possibility that Umardoth's vengeance will consume all in its path. Frightened, but determined to stop the ritual, you head into the woods. That last paragraph, what if you get no cultist? Anyway. So this one has a little bit extra stuff for the setup. Let's see. Put the main path location into play. Shuffle 6 copies of Arkham Woods. Choose 4 of them at random and put them into play without looking at their revealed sides. Remove the other 2 from the game. Each investigator begins in the main path. So, all right. So we're gonna shuffle. Go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the rest will get put away. And of course, the moment I start recording, Cat says hello. All right. Next, oh yeah, starting location. We'll put you there, and we'll put you there. All right. Set the ritual sign and Umardoff cards aside. Already done. Randomly choose one of the 4 following encounter sets: Agents of Yog-Sothoth, Agents of Shub-Niggurath, Agents of Cthulhu, or Agents of Hastur. These sets are indicated by those following icons. Without looking at the chosen encounter set, shuffle it and the remainder of the encounter cards together to form the encounter deck. Remove the other 3 from the game. Alright, so shuffle, and pull out this one. That should be it. Hopefully I did that right. I'm not supposed to look at it, so I'll just pray that it's correct. Alright, next. Check the number of names under cultists who got away in the campaign log. If there are 0 names, no changes are made. If there are exactly 1 or 2 names, place 1 doom on Agenda 1A. Cat, get off desk. Alright. So we get 1, which is not bad. Yeah, we only have 2 that got away. Yeah, getting all 6, I've never seen it happen. Then add a squid. This is what they usually call it. Squid chaos token to the chaos back for the remainder of the campaign. So down here, it's over here. Oh, it's called Elder Thing. Alright, so that is now added to the bag. Check the campaign log. If it is past midnight, each player discards 2 random cards from his or her starting hand, and then check campaign log. If the Ghoul Priest is alive, you put him in the counter deck. Okay. So with all that, let's go ahead and I'll shuffle this again, and then let's go ahead and read this. The Arkham Woods. From interrogating members of the conspiracy within Arkham, you have learned that they are performing a rite of vengeance in response to the destruction of one of their master's lairs. You have entered the woods outside Arkham to try to stop them. The woods seem unnaturally cold and filled with a deathly silence. Investigating the trail. Oh, and then it requires 4 doom to advance. Act 1A, investigating the trail. The evidence you've gathered has led you to the woods south of Arkham, where you believe a ritual to summon a being called Umardoth is about to take place. Stealing a resolve, you set forth deeper into the woods, hoping to find the site of this ritual. Alright. So, starting stuff. Obviously, we have 1 mental trauma, so we start with 1 horror. We'll go ahead and shuffle this, and then draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The shortcut I'll keep. Lead a Channeler I'll keep. Everything else I'll go ahead and replace. Actually, the Perception and Eureka are fine too. Do I want to hold on to Guts? You know what? I'm trying to think. No, let's go ahead and tag these out. I can get skills later. 1, 2, 3. True Understanding, Burning the Midnight Oil, Unearth the Ancients. Unearth the Ancients, the base one, is actually not that great, but unfortunately my XP spending was kind of all over the place. Yeah, we removed these guys already. These guys go away. Alright. So you're good to go. And then over here with Jenny Barnes, she has 2 physical trauma, so she starts with 2 damage. I have 2 Another Day, Another Dollars, so I start with an additional 4 resources, so I start with 9. And we'll see how this puts us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we don't want the small favor right now, and don't need the quick thinking right now, don't need the manual dexterity right now. The British Bulldog are nice, and I definitely probably want to keep the Derringer. Actually, let's do that, and we'll go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, unfortunately, no Leo DeLuca this time. Deal 1 damage to any major location, defeats the enemy. Got it. Okay. And this doesn't provoke an attack opportunity. Good. Got a backstab. We're not going to worry about the Green Man Medallion. We're going to treat this as essentially an unexpected courage. Alright. So no Leo DeLuca as an opener, which kind of sucks. But we'll work with what we got. Alright, investigation phase. First, we got to reveal the main path. Hangman's Brook separates uptown from the woods south of Arkham. Passing over the small bridge, you follow the main path deeper into the forest. Alright. The main path is connected to each other woods location. Resign, there's nothing we can do to stop them. You flee from the woods, leaving Arkham to its grisly fate. Alright, so it's connected to all these. Each of these say the same thing, but growing up, you were always warned to stay out of the woods at night. Now you know why. Alright, I'm going to start with Ursula first. So I will spend an action to go ahead and just play Lita, because she costs 0 to play. I'm going to spend 1 resource and do a fast action to play out Shortcut, which gets placed on a location here, because this is the upgraded version. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this shortcut. I'm going to exhaust it so I can move for free, essentially, to any location. Or any nearby connecting location. There we go. That's the word. We'll start north. After you enter this location, test 4 will. If you fail, take 1 damage and 1 horror. This clearing has been the site of dark rites since colonists first came to the area over 2 centuries ago. So this is Arkham Woods, unhallowed ground. It also has 2 clues and 4 shroud. Unfortunately, I don't really have a reliable way of dealing with that, so I'm just going to do the test. I could True Understanding, but that will only put me 4 to 4. Also, actually, that is correct now. Do that. Okay, so 4 to 4, or sorry, 3 to 4. Almost pulled it off. Alright, so we're going to take what? 1 damage, 1 horror? Yep. Both of them will go on Lita. Alright. I'll go ahead and use my free investigate action. And I'm going to use it to do Burning the Midnight Oil, which will get her 2 resources. And it's just going to be 4 to... Actually, I'll commit this. So it's going to be 6 to 4. Oh, also, I didn't talk about the symbols. Skulls will be minus X equal to the number of monsters in play. Note it's in play, doesn't matter the location. Minus 2 is the put 1 doom on nearest enemy. And then minus 3 is if there's a monster enemy at your location, take 1 damage. And the new token is minus 5, and if there's an ancient enemy in play, you reveal another token. So yeah, it's pretty rough. Okay, we actually passed it. 6 to 4. So we get 1 clue here. Oops, sorry. Next, I'm going to go ahead, for my remaining 2 actions, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. And then I'm going to play that. Alright, that goes to Jenny. Jenny is going to spend. I'm just going to do all of it. Actually, no, sorry, I didn't start with the other one. All right, spend 3 to get out the British Bulldog. That's my first action. Second action, I am going to go ahead and draw a card. Third action, I'm going to go ahead and... That's where this went. I'm going to go ahead and play Physical Fitness. I'll put us in okay states. All right. That is everybody. Enemy phase, there are no enemies. Upkeep. This will refresh, by the way. Okay, another Disc of Izanma. Okay, Derringer, cool. New round. 1 Mythos, shuffle this, and draw. Test foot 3 for each point you fail by. Take 1 damage. Alright. I would like to go ahead and use True Understanding with this, so that's going to put us at 5-3. Alright, that is a pass, and since I passed, I will discover 1 clue at my location. Another foot test, okay. So if for each point I fail by, I'll take damage. Alright, I'm just going to spend... I'm going to go ahead and commit the Green Man Medallion. Actually, no, don't do that. Yeah, I'm going to spend 2 resources to give myself +3 foot. Alright. That is just -3, and there's no monster. So I do pass exactly. Alright. Investigation. Alright, so we still need 4 more clues. We'll go ahead and have Ursula go. First action, she's going to move back. Second action, then she's going to use the shortcut to go ahead and move to another location. We'll go to this one. When you move out of this location, test book 3. If you fail, it cancels the move. This path seems to twist and turn upon itself almost as if it were alive. All right, so twisting pass. This is Shroud 3. I'll go ahead and use my investigate. So I'm 4-3. I fail it. Thankfully, it's not going to do anything worse than that. And there's, what, 2 clues here? Yep. All right. I'm going to go ahead and spend my other action to draw a card. And then I'll spend my last action to go ahead and investigate, and I'll commit this. And I pass. All right. It's got 1 clue left on there. All right. Jenny Barnes. First action. First action, I'm going to draw a card. That's what I wanted. Second action, get a resource. Third action, get out Leo DeLuca. And then now our fourth action, I'm going to go ahead and get a resource. All right. That is quick and easy. All right. No enemies. Goes to upkeep. Go ahead and refresh that. Upkeep. Segment of Onyx. Upkeep. Lone Wolf. All right. Goes to new round. Mythos. So 3 out of 4. Dissonant Voices, can't play events. Dissonant Voices can't play events. I did shuffle this. Yeah, you saw me shuffle. All right. This is actually annoying because I can't actually play anything this round. We'll start with Ursula. First action, let's go ahead and investigate. We can commit things, but actually I'll draw a card first. Perfect. Next, I will investigate and I'll use perception. So I'm now 6-3 here. And I failed it because of Elder Thing. Alright, and then last action, I'll go ahead and investigate one more time. I pass and I get a free move. So I will go ahead and grab that clue. Free move, I have to test book 3. So again, same situation. I do pass it just barely, so I do get to do the move. And then I'm going to go ahead and use shortcut to go ahead and move over here now. This location is investigated using brain instead of the skill indicated by the investigation intent. And it's 2 Shroud. Old house. A house waits at the edge of the trail, covered in vines. Inside, the walls and floors are blood-stained and littered with dirt, mud, and discarded bones. Alright, I'll go ahead and use my free investigate now. So I am 3 to 2. And we'll see what happens. 3 to 2. I barely pass. Cool. We're 1 clue away from advancing, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, it's the agenda is going to beat us to it, which is unfortunate. Alright, not much I can do here with Ginny. I'm going to go ahead and draw 1 card. Okay. And then I'm going to just get resources. Okay. Enemy phase. Nothing. Upkeep. This gets discarded at the end, so I'll just discard it now. Upkeep. Discard this. Upkeep. Okay. Alright, goes to new round. Mythos is going to, or the agenda is going to advance. Sorry, I didn't mean to zoom in there. Alright, death to the intruders. Throughout the woods, a shrieking cry echoes. From somewhere deeper in the forest, a score of hideous voices answer the call, inhuman as the baying of hounds, and yet articulate, repeating a singular name. Armadoff, Armadoff, Armadoff. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, and discard cards from the top until a monster enemy is discarded. Spawn that enemy at the main path, then place 1 doom on that enemy. That is a monster. And it's going to spawn on Ginny. Regular ghoul minion. Okay. Oh, and then we got to put a doom on it. Doom, da doom, doom, doom. Alright. The ritual begins. Armadoff, Armadoff, Armadoff. The chanting builds in intensity, echoing to the cold air of the night. The sparse clouds in the sky coalesce above the Arkham woods, blotting out the faint light of the stars. Each enemy gets 1 fight and 1 evade, which is really bad. Alright, encounter cards. Rotting Remains 3. For each point you fail by, take 1 horror. Sure, I'm gonna go ahead and just commit this guts. And we'll see what happens. I passed, and I can move again. I'm not going to, though. I do get to draw a card from the guts. Good. Well, actually, it's a bit late for the magnifying glass. And then for you, Ancient Evils. This will add 1 doom. No advance, though. Okay. We'll start with Ursula. Ursula's going to spend a fast action to get the magnifying glass out. And then we'll go ahead and start investigating. 3 to 2. There's 1 monster in play, so that's -1. So we do pass this. And then we'll go ahead and push the act. Alright. Scattered throughout the forest, you've seen glyphs and arcane sigils in various places, etched into the bark of the trees, carved upon the face of the stone, and dripped in blood upon the ground. Though you cannot decipher these glyphs, you notice that most of them tend to face south. Following these signs leads you by twists and turns toward a cave in the darkest and coldest part of the forest. As you advance, shadowy figures emerge from the trees, blocking the only path to the cave. Put the set-aside ritual site into play if it is not already in play. Search the collection for each enemy recorded in the campaign log under cultists who got away, and spawn those enemies on the main path. Alright, so we got unique cultists we'll need to pull out. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to give that spoiler. Anyway, I'll put you down here. Alright, unique cultist that got away. It is, Herman Collins and Victoria. Herman Collins and Victoria. these will all engage Ginny here. All right. I'll go ahead and go with Ursula's, continue Ursula's turn. Oh yeah, final thing. The remaining cultists have followed you into the woods to try to stop you, and now they block the path to your objective. They stand ominously beneath the overhanging trees, silent sentinels in the night. You must defeat them or sneak past if you are to gain access to the site of their ritual. Okay. Ritual site, the large central chamber of a cold, dark cavern adorned with arcane markings and dimly lit by candlelight. Okay, well, I'll spend an action to move. Also, this shortcut should have refreshed last time. Use the shortcut and just head on down. Because there's nothing that stops me. So, at the end of the round, if there are fewer than 2 clues per investigator on the ritual site, add clues to it until it has 2 clues per investigator. The sigils on the wall begin to flicker in and out of focus, and the air grows heavy with the smell of death. Okay, yeah, I went to the ritual site. When you enter the cave, the air grows cold and your nostrils are assaulted by pungent smell of blood and rot. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until 1 enemy is discarded. 2 enemies if there are 3 or more players in the game. Spawn each discarded enemy on the ritual site. Well, that's going to be annoying. It's a Wizard of the Order. Okay. And then the site of the cult's ritual is inside a large cavern in the dark corner of the woods. In the center of the chamber is a candlelit circle marked by rocks and arcane runes. Spend 1 clue, and you test either 3 brain or 3 foot. If you succeed, place 1 clue on this act. If there are 2 clues per investigator on this act, advance. So we need to get 4 clues on this thing. Problem is, I'm kind of engaged at the moment. Oh, actually, when a non-elite enemy spawns your location, discard Disc of Azama to automatically deal 2 damage to it. Alright, we'll do that. Bye. Okay, she's good to go. Alright, all that's been resolved. I'm going to go ahead and do my free investigate action with this. So I have 5 book against 3. I do pass, I get 1 clue. I will eventually have to do the test. They place clues on the act, but for right now, we're okay. I'm going to go ahead and use my last action to put out the other Disc of Azama, just in case we get another spawn. Ginny has some work to do. So we have a few things we can do here. 3 health, 4 health, and 2 health. And then all of these guys do have +1 fight and +1 evade. So it's going to be a little painful here. If it kills an enemy, draw a card. Just don't. Okay. Let's start with... I would like to get Lone Wolf out, but don't really have the time for it. Can you still do the parlay? Can I just tell them to go away? Is that still something you can do? That's kind of funny. Alright. So yeah, we have some options. Okay, this is what we'll do. This will do... Yeah, so what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to use the British Bulldog to shoot Herman Collins. I'll just use Fist, because that's really... yeah, we'll just use Fist. And I'm going to commit a Vicious Blow, Green Man Medallion, and a Quick Thinking. So that's that brings me up to 9 to 4. So that should pass at the very least. And I just barely pass. That's -5. The bad news is it doesn't trigger Quick Thinking. But I do get the +1 damage, so I do 3 damage in total. There's +1 from British Bulldog as well. So 3 damage. Just making sure I did my math right. So yeah, I could use any either one. So I did fist. I have +2 to the value, so that's 5. And then this had a grand total of 1, 2, and 1. So yeah, that brought me up to 9. So 4 to yeah, just barely. Okay. So that was 3 damage. I'm then going to go ahead and spend 2 resources to do a coup de grace. Deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location if this enemy is defeated by the. But if the effect defeats the enemy, draw 1 card. If it is your turn, I have to. Never mind. We'll do that last. This does not provoke an attack opportunity. 2 bullets cracked open the creature's skull, then another, then another, then another. Got it. So first action was to shoot that. Next, I'm going to. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot the ghoul minion. So I'm 5 to 3. I am going to go ahead and use foot for this. So I'm still 5 to 3, and I'm going to spend 2 resources to make it 8 to 3. Or sorry, yeah, 8 to 3. It's a pass, kills the ghoul minion. Okay. So that was my second action. Alright, third action. I'm going to play backstab. Actually, do I need to? Not really. But yeah, I might as well. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do backstab. So this uses my foot. So 3 to 4. We'll make it into 6 to 4. And 7 to 4. Alright, any of these monsters? Not monsters, so I don't take any damage. That was -3. I'm making sure I did the math right. So I did streetwise, brought me up to 6, that brought me up to 7. And this thing had 4. So -3 does pass, and I do 3 damage, killing her. Last action, I actually don't have enough to deal with you now. Well, that's unfortunate. What I can do is I can punch him and hope for the best. Yeah, you know what? I will punch him. And by punch him, I mean shoot him with this gun. So I am 5 to 4. 7 to 4. And then that'll be it. 7 to 4. We pass, he dies. You guys should be going to the victory, by the way. Okay. And she's broke. Alright. Investigation phase. Oh, that was investigation phase. Enemies. There are no enemies because we killed them all. Upkeep. Mouse mask would be very helpful. And physical training. Alright. Oh, I did get some verification. For upkeep, you draw first, and then you get your resource. Alright, Mythos. We're up to 2 out of 3. Or 2 out of 5, sorry. Draw. Frozen Fear. Okay. You. Screeching Byakuya. Lowest remaining sanity. Your sanity is 7. Yours is 7. It's actually going to Ursula. I'll go ahead and use the Disc of Itzama to do 2 damage to it. When engaged with an investigator with remaining sanity 4 or fewer, it gets stronger. That's all it has. It has Hunter. Alright. That's everybody. Okay. So we'll start with Jenny. Jenny can use the shortcut to go ahead and move down here to say hello. I'm going to go ahead and spin 3 to get out my Derringer. So that puts us at what, 5 to 5? 5 to 4. I am going to go ahead and spend 2 actions to play Bank Chop. which I didn't realize actually cost 2 resources. So let's do this the other way. I was at 3, go down to 1, do bank job first. So that's going to get us 8 resources, bring us up to 9. Then we play the gun, and that gets us down to 6. There we go. That's something we can do. All right, then I'm going to take a risk and shoot. So right now I'm 5 to 4. We'll make it 6 to 4, 7 to 4, 8 to 4, 9 to 4. I hit, but I only do 1 damage. So unfortunately, this thing's going to be annoying. Oh, actually, no. This is a monster. Oh, also, actually, I'll take back 1 resource because I forgot. I'm now with Lita, so I actually do an extra damage regardless. So this does kill, and this is in the victory display. Okay, that actually worked out. Yeah, sorry about that. I completely forgot about Lita. So I took back the resource because I was trying just to get to 9 total, and I didn't need that. Since I had extra strength, I didn't have to spend more. So essentially, I went to 4 to 6, 7, and then I spent 2 for 9. All right, goes to Ursula. Ursula is going to spend a resource to get out the mouse mask. Squeak, squeak. I'm going to go ahead and spend an action. Oh, also at the end of the round, I should be putting clues back on this thing, so up to 4. So I'll just go ahead and do that now. All right. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and investigate. So it's 5 to 3. In fact, while we're at it, let's go ahead and just fast out the segment of Onyx. All right, so 5 to 3. Passed, so I get a clue. Last action, I'm going to go ahead and do the ability here. So I can go 5 to 3 using the mouse. I failed it. Okay. So I believe it's spend a clue. Yeah, I have to spend the clue, so it does go away. All right. Then I have to do another brain check. I'll just do it raw. I failed it again. Cool. Got the auto fails out of the way, I guess. All right. Enemy phase, no enemies. Goes to upkeep. All right. I don't have tomes or relics. Actually, no, I do have a relic. Segment of Onyx. Cool. Manual dexterity. Mythos. All right. Running out of time, unfortunately. Okay. We'll go ahead and draw this. All right, foot 3. We're just going to take it, so 4 to 3. I take 3 damage. I'll just put it all on Ursula for now. Yellow sign. All right. Test 4 brain. If you fail, take 2 horror and search your deck for a madness weakness. Draw that and draw that card and shuffle your deck. All right. So 4 brain, huh? I will just make the check, I guess. Well, actually, I have a few brain. I'll just spend 3 and hope I pass it. I do pass it. So that was for physical training, by the way. All right, pass the check. I think I have 1 madness weakness, and it's actually not that bad. I think it's the one that makes it so it reduces my hand size. In any case, it goes to our turns. I'm going to go ahead and we'll attempt the event thing again. So I'm going to spend 1 clue. Jenny Barnes is going to help using manual dexterity. So it's going to be 6 to 3. It passes. It gets placed. Please get to place it on this act. All right. So we got 1 out of 4. I do get to draw a card thanks to the manual dexterity. Okay, that'll be somewhat helpful in the future, I guess. Next, I'm going to go ahead and investigate, so 5 to 3. I do pass, so I get a clue. And I'm going to go ahead and commit this clue. So I'm going to go Mouse Mask plus Guts. So that's going to be 7 to 3. I do pass, so I'm not going to move. I do get to draw a card thanks to Guts. And clue goes on here. So we're halfway there, but there's a chance we might not have enough time. All right, goes to Ginny. What do I want to do? I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. That's what I want. All right, next action. I'm going to go ahead and play this British Bulldog so we have a fresh one. And then my last 2 actions are going to be getting resources. All right. Investigation, enemy, no enemies, upkeep. Oh, I forgot to do the Frozen Fear thing. 3 to 3. It actually passes. All right. Upkeep. Goes there. Upkeep. Okay. All right, Mythos. If we get a, what do you call it? The one that pushes the, adds a doom. This thing's trying to get very ugly. Acolyte. So this thing's useless because it's not going to progress the agenda by itself. So I'm just going to put him over there. Rotting Remains, 3 brain for each point you fail by. Take 1 horror. I'll just test 3 to 3. I take 1 horror, which I'll put on Leo. Okay. So here we are. I need to get 2 clues on this. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. Because I'm not going to be able to... Yeah, I'll have Ginny go first. First action, draw a card. Second action, draw a card. Oh, actually... Only for that test, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to draw a card. Draw a card. Okay. Third action, I'm going to go ahead and play this backpack. Search top 12. There it is. Technically, I can get this. What's it? For up to 3. Oh, yeah, you do have to take them. So, yeah, I'll take the backpack as well. Yeah, so the drawing the sign thing is a madness. It literally is from the King in Yellow. Okay, yeah, so that is all the items I can get. I'll put this under the backpack, or I'll put this... We'll just put them over here then. Alright, last action, I am going to go ahead and play the Wolf Mask. Yeah, there's no way I can get enough... I'm not going to be able to advance the agenda in time. Oh, also Call the Unknown. I'll just put it over there. All right. So first action, I'm going to go ahead and investigate. I am 5 to 3. I'll make it 6 to 3. Passes. Yeah, if I hadn't failed the check with one of the clues, I would have been okay. But since it spins the clue, even if you fail it, that pretty much screwed me over. All right. I'm going to go ahead and investigate one more time. This time it's just 5-3. I pass. I get the clue. Last action, I'm going to draw a card. And I'll fast action get out the segment of Onyx. Okay. So with that, enemies don't move. Oh, also I do take 2 horror. And this will get shuffled back in the deck. We'll split the damage between them. Okay, upkeep. Alright. Mythos. So this is going to progress. This doom will get removed. Okay, I thought we were doomed. I actually thought we were screwed. I thought this was going to be they finished the ritual and spawn Irmadoth. Okay, the Will of Irmadoth. A dark presence approaches and you are assaulted by invisible pressures that bring you to your knees. A terrible force threatens to invade your mind and soul. Your throat clenches and your eyes water as the sensation burns through you. Each investigator must test 6 brain. Each investigator who fails must search the collection of random madness weaknesses and add it to his or her hand. Okay, well, 3-6. This will add a doom, isn't it? Yep, doomed at nearest enemy. There you go. Alright, I should have probably put him up here, but that's my bad. And then I'm assuming you're also going to fail. Yeah, we'll just fail you as well. Yep, failed. Okay. There's no way. Actually, could she pass? Yeah, she had drawn Elder Sign, she would have passed. Okay, so we need to go get some random weaknesses. Random basic weakness. So I'll start with Ursula first. Not a madness. Not a madness. That's a madness. I believe it gets shuffled in the deck. Oh, no. For a random basic madness weakness and adds it to his or her hand. So this goes in your hand. Just choose and discard all but 1 card from your hand. I'll discard white and green here. Alright. And then I need to do the same for you. It adds it to his or her hand. That's brutal. And just discard all your resources. Alright. So yeah, amnesia, where am I, what was I doing? And then over here we have, what was that noise? I lose 3 resources, which could have been much worse. Okay. That was that. We do get to go ahead and draw bad cards next. So bad card, Rotting Remains. So 3 brain. I'm just going to go 3-3. I passed it. Okay. Next. Lowest remaining sanity, which is going to be you. Luckily, it's now only 3-3, because that buff is gone now. Oh, speaking of, vengeance awaits. The world begins to shift and change as the ritual nears its conclusion. The air grows chilly, and the entire forest is... Oh wait, it does spawn Irmadoth. Yeah, we are screwed. I knew I was not missing anything. The air grows chilly and the entire forest is covered in a layer of rime. The trees bend unnaturally and their shadows lengthen into weird shapes. We are in Act 2, or sorry, we're in Act 3. Discard all enemies at the ritual site and spawn the set-aside Irmadoth there. So this happens before the spawning, so don't worry about that part. Alright, Irmadoth. Doesn't have... Well, actually, sorry, this thing's massive, so it doesn't actually engage anyone. Okay, has 4 health per investigator, so it has 14 health. If you control Leader Channeler, it's only after her you can throw Alita at Armadoff in order to spare your lives with a Resolution 3 here. This thing also, of course, has Hunter. At the end of each investigator's turn, you ready Armadoff. So exhausting him with evasion is only kind of a temporary measure. All right. So with all that said and done, let's yeah, I drew everything already. Okay. So now it goes to investigation phase. So yeah, I was correct here. Can you still advance though? Did I miss something here? I'm just making sure. Okay. So we got that going for us, I guess. All right. So what are we going to do about Armadoff? So Armadoff will hit for 3 meat and 3 brain damage, and massive means it attacks everybody at once. So we kind of have that to deal with. It's also an ancient one, so it's not actually a monster. And yeah, we kind of need a solution for this problem here. So if Ursula can evade this thing, I have a chance, but let's be real, I don't actually have a chance. So I think I'll go with, I guess I'll start with Jenny. Yeah, I can't do 14 damage. And it's at the end of is it both investigator? Each investigator's turn. So yeah, even if Jenny can evade it, Ursula will not be able to. So what I'm going to do now, if I move Jenny away, she won't, or not Jenny, if I move Ursula away, she won't provoke at the very least. So what I'm going to do is I don't have any resources. That's bad. Yeah, I'm kind of screwed. So I need to get rid of the Screeching Byaku at the very least. Yeah, my only hope is to try to lure Armadoff away with Jenny and then get Ursula back down here to get to work. Because right now she just doesn't have the cards to actually do anything. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to shoot the Derringer at the Screeching Byaku. Thankfully, you still have sanity left. So right now it's 6 to 3. We'll make it 7 to 3 using the overpower. So 7 to 3. Got it. I do 3 damage. Alright, next I will just punch it. I'm going to go 3 to 3, just with a standard attack. This will add a doom to a monster. Nearest enemy, so I'll just put it on the enemy I'm killing. And that will finish off this guy. Okay, so that's 2 actions. I don't have a way of evading, so I'm just going to move. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and move. I'll take the attack opportunity, so 3. I'll do a wound here, and take that. All right, so I'll move here, and then I'm going to use the shortcut to move down to here. It's a place I can actually heal up at. All right, this is the Quiet Glade. This would be a nice picnic spot if it weren't for all the monsters. This guy will engage me. I will get an offering back. I am going to use that offering to go ahead and punch this guy. I am back down to 3, though. I will commit this, so I'm going to be a total of 7 to 3. I do pass. That was my last action. Okay. Ursula is going to have to move. Let me just verify the thing about the massive. Okay. So massive, they don't follow you, but they will do the attack opportunity. So I'll take the 3 damage. I'll put 1 on Lita here. Take 2. Take 3 here. Nearly dead. I move away. And then I'm going to move here, because it still has Hunter, of course. Last action, I'm going to draw a card. Okay. Alright, goes to enemy phase. Enemy is going to move up. Upkeep. Okay, could have used this a while ago. It does provide brain, though. We have, what, 2 on here? Okay. Okay. Mythos, add 1. Draw. Place 2 Doom. If there are no Doom, draw Cultist. Has to be an empty location. We'll just put you there then. And whew, all right, here goes nothing. All right, let's action, draw a card. That's going to be a problem. Direct damage. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. I have to. Alright, then it goes to Jenny. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get all resources. Alright. Goes to enemy phase. Armored off, I get to choose, so I'll have it go down here. It's going to attack for 3 and 3. Upkeep. Okay. Upkeep. Mythos. Private school. Lowest remaining health is actually Jenny. This will engage, so it will provide a wolf mask, or well, yeah, offering. All right. And you also get a monster. Okay, so we got that going for us. Okay, investigation phase. First action is going to be the move, second, and then I'm going to use the... Actually, sorry, first action is I'm going to spend 2 resources to get out field work. Actually, no, don't do that. I don't have enough, I don't have time. So I'm going to move. Exhaust that. Move down here. There's always going to be 4 clues here. but it doesn't really matter at this point. I will take the free investigate. So that puts us at 5-3 again. I do pass. I do get a clue from this. All right, and then I'm going to spend a clue. Okie dokie. So I am, what, 4-3? That's what it is? 4-3. Yeah, so using foot, yeah, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3. We pass. I don't know what happens because, this guy's been summoned, so I don't know. We'll see. All right, then last action. I'm going to attempt it one more time. So this time, I mean, either one of these, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'll just hold one of the archaic glyphs. So I'll use a Eureka. So it's going to be 5-3. Oh wait, I forgot to do a Eureka earlier. Let's do that first. Top 3. True understanding? Technically that works. Yeah, it's on a card. It's a scenario card. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm still gonna use my last action to attempt this. I'm 4-3, 5-3, 6-3. And I passed. That puts a clue on it. This might be a first for me. If there are 2 clues per investigator on this act, advance. You have braved the unnatural chill and weave through the arcane symbols, crossing the threshold of the circle. You smother the markings on the ground, covering them with dirt, breaking apart the carefully constructed pattern of smooth rock. A shrill noise pierces your ears as the air grows suddenly warmer, and the world distorts around you suddenly into normality. Resolution 1. I could have swore you couldn't. I didn't know if you can actually do the ritual. The ritual is broken. It's the title, by the way. I wasn't sure you can do the ritual. Break the ritual after Armadov has already been summoned, though. So that's what I'm a little confused about. When this agenda advances... Oh, okay, I did make a mistake here. Yeah, so I did make a mistake. I made a huge mistake, in fact. So I misread this. So the stuff below here that's happening is... after this agenda advances. This agenda has not advanced yet, so Armadov hasn't actually spawned yet. And then when he does spawn, it does this, and you actually end up losing the act. So that's what I got messed up on. Armadov didn't actually get summoned. That was the mistake I made. He did not spawn yet. He was going to spawn soon, because I was about to hit 5 again. But yeah, once he spawns, you can't actually do the act. It says to replace it. In which case, your only option is to fight him. So I did some weird, quirky hard mode, I guess. So yeah, that was my bad. Armadov, yeah, if Armadov hadn't spawned, it literally just would have been Ursula just takes care of everything and solves the problem. But you at least got a peek at Armadov, so spoilers, I guess. I apologize. You also got to see the back of that card, but yeah, sorry, that was I made a bunch of mistakes. Oh, I made one big mistake, we'll put it that way, and it was actually to my detriment. So, because I ended up having to stall and try to lure him away and then finish the ritual, which is pretty funny, because there was no ritual to actually complete. But yeah, I completely messed this up. But even with that handicap, I did actually complete the ritual. This is the first time I've actually broke the ritual. So the thing about this particular scenario is generally the easiest way to handle this is just to bulk up, get everything ready for fighting, and then just kill Armadov when he spawns. Which Jenny might be able to pull off if she had like all of her stuff set up for it. But usually with like an actual Guardian type character, with a handful of like runic axes or lightning guns or shotguns and things like that, you can very easily kill Armadoff in a couple of rounds. So, and what's rough about this is if you actually try to like handle the ritual, what all my previous times I've gone to the point where I was one clue away, and then I spawned Armadoff, and then and then at that point I was not only did I had failed to deal with the ritual, all the resources and effort I put towards trying to get the ritual done made it so I was unprepared for Armadoff, and that just made everything worse. And also, since this is the final scenario, you could also just do the quick and easy, which is just throw Lita at it. Though, to be honest, I don't believe that's actually a good ending. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and just do resolution 1. Again, I apologize for the mistake here. I'll be sure to put in the I'll put it in the description that what I messed up. So it'll be here. Resolution 1. You have managed to prevent the cult from summoning its master. Although you're unsure what would have happened had the cult succeeded. Well, we kind of saw that by mistake. You're relieved that at least for the time being, Arkham is safe. You captured as many cultists as you can find, but very few townspeople believe your tale. Perhaps it was all in your head after all. In your campaign log, record the ritual to summon Armadoff was broken. Each investigator suffers 2 mental trauma as he or she never fully recovers from his or her ordeal. And each investigator earns experience equal to victory value. Each investigator earns 5 bonus experience as he or she saved Arkham from a terrible fate. The investigators win. So you do get trauma and experience, despite it being the final scenario of the campaign. You can technically take investigators from the end of one campaign and take them to another, which could be kind of an interesting, like Iron Man type thing, because obviously, as you're going, much like any Lovecraftian type game, it's usually just a matter of time before your character just dies or goes insane. So it's kind of a neat way to kind of look at things. I'm not going to be doing that. I'll be starting with new investigators for every scenario, so that's going to be the plan. Now, if you had done the fighting thing, you would have had a similar ending, but you would have taken a lot more. You would have taken a lot more trauma, and then you also, I think, you take a ton of trauma if you throw Lita at him. So, yeah, it's pretty brutal. So again, I apologize for this massive mistake. It honestly just made things harder for me, because, like I said, if he wasn't here, if he hadn't spawned here, I would have just killed the Byakuya with Jenny. And then Ursula would have just done clues. And, I mean, either she would succeed or fail, but even if she failed, she could just get more clues, and it would just work out that way. So, because, yeah, there's no point of actually luring him away, unless you want to buy yourself time to, like, set up. For the most part, like I said, this act would go away the moment he spawns. Anyway, that's enough for now. Let's go ahead and talk a little. So, like I said, the biggest issue with this particular scenario is there's just not much going on with it. It's very, very brutal if you try to go the ritual route, which is what I tried to do, and actually succeeded. This is the first time I've actually done the ritual successfully. It's just a lot easier just to fight Armadoff in most cases. I wasn't really comfortable about fighting Armadoff. Jenny is kind of limited on her combat capabilities. But honestly, that was fun. Playing this on the previous times I did play on this, I played it on normal, and like I mentioned, every time I attempted to do the ritual, I came like one short, and it was devastating. The biggest issue is you can get really swarmed with monsters if you're not careful. Thankfully, we didn't get too many monsters in the beginning, and then we were actually in a pretty good shape by the time the gang arrived, which was of course the what do you call them? The cultists, the masked cultists arrived. So, as for like the characters themselves, Ursula. So there is a tier list for all the investigators. Ursula is generally seen as kind of one of the worst investigator, or not the worst investigator, the worst seeker investigator. That being said, seekers are generally very good at their job, no matter who it is. The cards are generally very powerful and very good at progressing the game. So even with Ursula Downs being like very low on the tier list for seekers, she's still functional, and you can still play with her. The biggest issue is just her splash. The problem with her splash is most, especially level 0 relics, are all yellows almost. There's a couple, and then there's a couple of purple relics, I think, and then there's a few green relics, and there's not really many that Ursula actually gets much out of. There's a few, but a lot of them for green or for rogue rather is are all exceptional, which cost double XP to actually get out. So it's just really rough. She just like with her kits where she has the ability to like do extra stuff while moving. And her high agility stat, like you would think that she would be a better splash with like something like Rogue, maybe like Rogue 0 to 2 or something like that, or heck, doing the splash that Jenny has, where you can pick like 5 cards from any other color. I think would have been a lot more effective than just relying purely on relics. Fortunately, the segment of Onyx stuff didn't really play out very well. This was mostly because there's just by the time I got him, I got up to 2 every time. But I never got that third one, and that third one would have made it a lot easier for me to get clues. For this particular campaign, it was probably not the best pick, but I didn't, like I said, there was just not very many things that interest me for Ursula Downs. I think it also only cost me 1 experience to get segments of Onyx, so it wasn't that bad. The archaic glyphs, I think was probably not my best call. It pretty much works on anyone that has decent book, which I mean she does have 4, though that generally you want 5 for a seeker. It did work it did save me a couple of turns, which was good, but overall it was a kind of a struggle. I do like the mask in this particular campaign. The mouse mask is not as good, simply because there's just not as many locations to reveal and look and move around to. The other thing that kind of influenced my build for Ursula was I ended up grabbing Charisma, thinking that I would have to, juggle both Lita and another ally. In most cases, either I didn't ever draw the other ally, or I didn't have the resources to summon them, which was the case in this case. But besides that, the thing that really made Ursula feel really good in this particular campaign, besides playing on easy, is she drew the Elder Sign a lot. Like, I think she got, I think she drew it, 2 times or 3 times more than Jenny, possibly. And being able to just take a move action for free every time you get the Elder Sign, and then also use it to trigger your ability, is just really, really good. That saved a lot of actions. That compressed a lot of the actions down and made her just really, really effective. Shortcut upgrade was a very good call for this map because it sped up everything. But yeah, besides that, she was just kind of a seeker that kind of did her best. I wasn't a very big fan of the Pathfinders, so I'll probably be switching those out. I understand what they're there for, and I know what they do, but I felt like not Pathfinder, the Fieldworks. Speaking of Pathfinder, I never drew it, but the Fieldworks, I mean, I understand what it's there for. It's to kind of help with her kind of limited stats and, go from there. But even then, just I wasn't feeling it. Let's put it that way. But yeah, a lot of fun thanks to all the Elder Signs I drew. And then we got Jenny here. Jenny's effectiveness, part of it I think is because she either started with Leo DeLuca in her hand or she got Leo DeLuca very, very early. Having 4 actions per round, like I mentioned in a previous video, Leo DeLuca's effectiveness is based off of how early you get him, because those extra actions is essentially you get more actions the more you play. The more campaign is still there. my vocabulary is failing me. Jenny's generally there's people that are hardcore Jenny fans, but for the most part, everyone's kind of in the same state of copium where Jenny's just not overall generally that good because of her stat line and also her splash. The 5 cards of any other class kind of has fallen behind as far as the more and more expansions come out. So honestly, this 5 other cards should really maybe go up to 8 or 10. And I think that would be kind of a bit more interesting, especially for Jenny, because it really feels like she's just like a rich girl trying to, make up for things by just having lots of money and being kind of truly a master of none and jack of all trades type thing going on. So I feel like if she had a little bit more splash of all the other colors, I think that would be kind of interesting for her builds. I mentioned in the very first video, it's kind of a trap if you try to make her into a flex. So for this, I definitely focus purely on fighting. And I think it worked out pretty well. The backpacks definitely helped. I did mess around with the alternate exclusive and the alternate weakness. Both of them I feel are better. I never really drew her weakness except for that one time, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But for the amulet, I think the amulet is generally better than her guns. Her guns are are neat as far as like they're the ones on the picture, but beyond that, it's practically it's practically just a 45, but costs you have to spend more money to get more ammo on it. And the other issue with it is it takes up two hands. When you're just better off just going and getting your own guns and just putting them in your own hands. But the real important thing about the amulet, even if you don't want to play the game of like throw a bunch of money at it and get a bunch of free, free skill cards or whatever, or free upgrades, it has two wild symbols, which essentially makes it an unexpected courage, which you can just commit. Speaking of money, a lot of the ways that you can play Jenny Barnes is the big money type play, where you try to get as much money as possible and then use that money to get big numbers. That wasn't really the focus for this. The only economy card I have in here is the bank job. Everything else I rely purely on her upkeep ability. I think she could probably use a little bit more economy to kind of fuel this machine. I did kind of make up for some of it using another day, another dollar. But yeah, the thing that's helping out Jenny a lot though is in the thick of it and starting with Streetwise definitely gives her a bit more to work with. This is mainly because of the British Bulldog, which is one of the newest weapons that came out, which allows you to actually use your agility stat. There's not very many weapons that use agility that are levels that are level 0. So that definitely helps out quite a bit. Probably the biggest mistake is the small favor. For some reason thought this was I thought this didn't provoke an attack, but it did. The nice thing about small favors, though, it does have two fist icons, so you can kind of use it as an overpower if you need to, a weaker form of overpower. It also can do damage, so it is free damage without test, which definitely has a quality to it. But yeah, I think I'll probably replace the small favors with probably a little bit more economy, and I think that might help out quite a bit. Like, honestly, maybe just some what do you call them? Emergency caches would probably go well with the backpacks at the very least, because then I could draw those as well. The upgraded backpacks were nice. Upgrading the British Bulldog over the Derringer, I think, was a good call. The upgraded Derringer doesn't get any additional numbers, but it does get an extra ability where if you roll real high, you can get extra actions out of him, which is great if you can get the extra actions. But my luck with extra actions were not great. Let's put it that way. Every time I used the quick thinking, I always drew the token. I would always draw, either I would fail the test or I would pass but not high enough. I think there's maybe only 2 occasions where my quick thinking actually gave me an extra action. Part of that's because Jenny has very low stats, or mediocre stats, but it is what it is. I've been meaning to really want to play Jenny, so playing Jenny as a thug was definitely something I was a bit worried about, but she actually pulled through. Even with the trauma she started with, the combination of Leo DeLuca just spending actions just to get resources and then using those resources just to beat people up with streetwise or physical training. The Wolf Mask was definitely a good call as far as the splash card. Every time she engages an enemy, she gets an offering back, and then it also works with fist and foot. Yeah, the masks are also a new addition, and they're all very nice. They're not like a must-have in some cases, but for Jenny, with her limited stat pool, I think it worked out amazingly well. Besides that, a lot of it was just a lot of skills that are a lot of events that revolve around just getting some hits in, either using foot or stacking foot on top of your fist to potentially do some damage and possibly evade on top of it. And that's just about it. Honestly, I had a lot more fun than I expected with Ursula, and Jenny was actually kind of a blast. I understand she's kind of boring with her ability and her deck building, but honestly, it was fun. So our next campaign after this one is going to be, I'm going to go in order. So I'm going to be doing Dunwich next. I am familiar with Dunwich. I have done it a couple of times. I've done it solo 2-hand, and I've done it with my group. So I'm pretty familiar with that one. So hopefully I won't make as many mistakes. As for the investigators, I will probably be going Diana and somebody else, but the other person may end up being who's that book character? The librarian character, the one that gets extra actions that use for book. Daisy. Yeah, I think I'll be Diana and Daisy will probably be the duo I'll try next. So you'll at least get to see another Seeker, and then you'll also get to see the Mystic class, though Diana is kind of unique as far as how she plays Mystic. And the deck I'll be using for Diana is going to be a bit more thug-focused, to say the least. So, that should be it. Sorry for all the rambling. Sorry for the massive mistake. Hopefully it was hilarious to watch. I'm mostly doing these videos for me because it gives me an excuse to play this game more. And hopefully you guys get something out of it. At the very least, you get to hear my voice, I guess, if you care about that. But yeah, I'll be going through all of this. I'm the Depressed Hero. This was Arkham Horror, the card game. And this was all of Night of the Zealot. So I'll see you guys next time.